Say hello to Russell Shaw, or is it Dean Winchester? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment here for another Tracker review. This time it's the penultimate episode of Season 1 for Tracker, Episode 12. This one was called Off the Books, and we get the debut of the one and only Jensen Ackles. So Jensen Ackles is now in Tracker. He is playing Russell Shaw, Colter's brother. I've seen a lot of people criticise this episode. They thought that the character Russell Shaw was just too similar to a supernatural character. I mean, I can see why people think that. However, we're so used to seeing Jensen Ackles play Dean Winchester. There's like almost 16, 17, 18 seasons, something like that, of Supernatural. It's almost like every time you see Jensen Ackles, you're just going to associate him with the Dean Winchester character. So, yes, I do think Russell Shaw had a little bit of Dean Winchester in him, but I think that's obvious. I think he was always going to have that due to the fact that he was played by the guy that played Dean Winchester for like 18 seasons. But anyway, let's get into it. I did watch this about 4 days ago, so I am going to try and remember the best of my ability. I like to review the show after watching it, but I didn't get time to do that. So yeah, we are reviewing this like 4 days later, but let's see if we can make the most of it. So, the episode kicks off. We see a man who's in a gas station. He is looking anxious, and he gets essentially. He's trying to. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's got a flashlight. He's looking around. He's obviously scared of something, anxious, and he makes a run for it. So, there's a little bit of a noise. He gets spooked, and that is it. He's done. He's running away. Then we cut to Colter, who's in his RV. A car pops up. Colter pulls out his gun. It turns out, though, it's his brother Russell, and Colter isn't going to shoot his brother, but they ain't on good terms. So they sit down, have some beers, and they finally open up about what actually happened. And now, I like this, and I think this is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see what happened with Russell Shaw. We wanted to see what happened with Colter Shaw, but I think they waited way too long to actually dive into this. They've waited way, way, way too long. We should have seen this earlier in the season. They should have touched on it more. They did touch on it a little bit in the first episode. Then after that, they basically didn't do anything. Colter met with his mother in the second. And then there was nothing really about him and his brother. You had Renee asking the odd question about what happened with your family. But other than that, this is like the main story, and they didn't touch upon it the entire time, which I think kind of sucks. But Russell says that he didn't kill Dad, and that their mother told Russell that he needs to go away, he needs to stay quiet, he needs to disappear. So that's what Russell does. Colter doesn't really believe Russell, and at this point, it's tough for Colter because either his brother killed his father, or if he didn't, then why is his mother punishing his brother, and why is she trying to cover this up? So obviously something dodgy has went down. Okay, his father died. We know that. Who's responsible for it? If it's not his brother, then is it his mother? Because we've seen in the last episode, his sister was saying that you can't trust their mom. She knows more than she's letting on. So yeah, Colter doesn't know if Russell's telling the truth, but either way, something shady has happened to their dad. So they try and track down Russell's friend Doug, who we seen earlier at the beginning of the episode at the gas station. They used to do some private work for this company, and basically Doug saved Russell's life, so Russell owes it to him to try and get him back. So the brothers break into a morgue after this finger is sent to Doug's wife. So they need to break into this morgue and see if it belongs to a dead body, and it does. And yeah, we get some funny scenes with Russell. He's trying to chat up the woman at the morgue. Renee arrives, and Russell is trying to chat her up as well, although Colter quickly shuts it down. And I mean, we can see already that Russell appears to be, he's a ladies' man. He's trying to get with all the women. Russell does explain to Colter that they had a botched job and that it's his fault that Doug had to go behind because he left his knife, and that Doug basically saved him. So that's why he has to do this. Doug saved him. And now it's time for Russell to repay the favour. So they finally managed to track down where Doug could be getting held. Russell tells Colter, look, I don't expect you to do this. These are some serious people that we're messing with, but Colter's not going to let his brother go into this alone. So they go into the house, they take out some of the guards. Russell does indeed get shot, but he manages to survive. The Shaw brothers take out all the men inside. They also manage to rescue Doug. When they're going to take Doug back, Russell tells Colter that he has some unfinished business with Carlos that he needs to take care of, and yeah, that's obviously referring to the botched job that he had previously. So we're assuming here that Russell goes back to take care of Carlos, to eliminate Carlos. Colter then takes Doug back to his wife, and we get the generic tracker, happily ever after ending here. They invite Colter in, but Colter isn't ready. He says, nah, I got to go. He doesn't really want to be there, frees a crowd. And as soon as Colter said no, Doug and his wife just completely ignored him, did a 180 and walked into the house and left him on the outside. I mean, did he even get paid? I can't remember. Then Colter goes to the motel where Russell was staying, but it turns out Russell checked out a few days ago, although he has left a package for Colter. Colter opens the package, and it's Russell's pocket knife that he left behind on that hit. So, yeah, Russell's pocket knife that their dad gave him earlier when they were younger. He's still got that pocket knife. He's still holding on to that pocket knife to this day. And he has left it with Colter, and he wants Colter to keep it safe for him. And that was it, guys. That was the end of the episode. So, yeah, I probably didn't do a good job of reviewing it, but apologies. Like I said, it was 4 days ago I watched it, and it was a good episode. Don't get me wrong. I know my review, I probably don't sound too enthusiastic. I probably don't sound like I'm enjoying it, or I thought it was great. It was good, though. I did enjoy it. I just, should have probably reviewed it straight away. But, yeah, in terms of a rating, look, I mean, Jensen Ackles, he brought a lot to this. I really enjoyed the character Russell Shaw. I wish that we could have seen Russell be introduced earlier. I wish we could have got Russell in more episodes. I wish we could just get Russell and Colter in an episode, and it's not necessarily, your generic tracker formula. Why couldn't we just have a whole episode dedicated to these two? I personally didn't need this assignment here. I didn't need Doug. I didn't need that. I would have been more than happy just having an episode with Colter and Russell. Maybe some flashbacks to when they were younger. Yeah, for me, a full episode with just Colter and Russell sitting by the fire, having a drink. I think they could have done that. I think they could have made that work, but it doesn't seem like that's what Tracker's all about. It seems like they want to do the generic formula where they've got their 40 minutes. You got to have an assignment, a mini story. You got to wrap all that up, and then you move on to the next one. So there you go, guys. That is it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good. One of the best episodes of the season, definitely. We're moving into the finale now. Hopefully, we see Russell in the finale, but I've got a feeling he might not be there until the end. I don't know. I know we're getting another assignment. I don't think we need an assignment, and if we do get the assignment, I'm hoping it gets wrapped up early. We're going to have a 40-minute finale. Can we have Colter wrap up the assignment at the halfway point and then have the last half an hour? Can we dedicate that to the Shaw family and find out more? Maybe get Colter's mother back in there, and let's see what actually happened. Let's get a little bit more information on the Shaw family and what happened to their father back, years ago. So, yeah, guys, 8 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below. I will catch you in the next one. Been Fog Entertainment. Thanks for watching, and peace.